catch it with my, try to catch it with my, catch it with my. This surely was a good sign, despite of everything I saw. It's slowing down time, changing all the laws. Try to catch it with my hands, so that I can take it home. Hoping I can keep it when I'm dead, when we gone. Try to catch it with my, catch it with my, try to catch it with my. If so I'll teach you with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. In the end it melts away. Try to catch it with my, so I'll catch it with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. It melts away. Try to catch it with my, catch it with my, try to catch it with my, catch it with my, catch it with my. Sometimes fast and sometimes slow, they all fall into the ground, dance around circles, and I catch them with my mouth. It softens all the noises, it softens all the things. Everything is wild. So I'll teach you with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. In the end it melts away. Try to catch it with my, so I'll catch it with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. In the end it melts away.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome. We're doing a throwback. Thanks for joining. Thanks for smashing the like button. And thanks for being here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I do appreciate every single one of you. Not much people like the throwbacks, but I'm still going to keep doing them because some people do like the throwbacks. So here I am. Let me check if Chantal has anything. Her name is now not Foodie Beauty, but Foodie Cutie. Are we 12? So it's Foodie Cutie 84. Because, of course, born in 1984. Wait a second. No. Is it? Wait. Yeah, right? Because, the book. 1984 by George Orwell. Yeah, that's right. All right. Anyways, let me share my screen. We're going to get into this. This is called a groovy throwback 1969 fondue party mukbang, September the 6th, 2020. Still at the height of the pandemic, we are doing it like it's 1969. Lindsay, hey there, Edna, Lynn Smith, Juicy's Joint. What's up? We have also, who else is in here? We got Mary R. All right, if you're just listening and you're not participating, hey, it's all good. You can do that. All right, let's get into this. Once again, September 6th, 2020. Then after that, we're going to go into, I remember this one from March 24, 2021. I was on my way to and from Montreal. The Twin Peaks themed dinner and iconic cherry pie. I do remember this because a lot of people were making videos about it, commenting on it. I specifically didn't go over this once again because I had a full day. I had to like go hundreds of kilometers, hundreds of miles away, and then come hundreds of miles back the same day. All right, so let me do this first one. 1969. Here we go. If you haven't already, smash the like button. My fire stick tripping. Okay, you have that plugged in properly. Sometimes that's the problem. Shout outs to the fire sticks making life a lot easier, especially when you ain't got a smart TV, but you wanna do Amazon or Netflix or Disney Plus or Discovery Plus. You know what I mean. Anyways, let's go.
Hey, hey guys, what's up? What's up? Feeling groovy. Welcome to 1969. Big year,
Ooh,
all kinds of
gotcha.
things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And fondue. Year of fondue, actually, decade of fondue. Fondue was very big in the 60s and the 70s.
I bet.
So let's revisit 1969 together. Let's get groovy. And let's eat. Let's get to. What's up,
Ooh.
guys?
Me like it. I like the pink. I like the blue. Juice's joint says I'm on my phone at this horrible rehab facility. So sorry to hear Juice's joint. Positive vibes to you.
Mm. Today, let's start with the wine.
Whatever.
I'm going for this is a flower child hippie hybrid. I don't know, man. I don't know. So this is a dry wine, Sauvignon Blanc. It is delicious. This is a Jackson Triggs from Niagara,
Ooh,
Ontario,
yes.
reserve. So it is amazing. It is pretty good for a screw off top. All right. I don't even know if that's
You
true.
know
They
what?
say that the best wine is like cork, but
I like the I like Niagara ice wine. Well, actually, all wines from Niagara is pretty good. I think if you like Niagara wine from Niagara Falls, I think it's VQA wine is what you look for, right? VQA, which is Ontario Wine Appellation Authority. So if you're into all that the horseshoe, golden horseshoe type of wine, ice wine, and the sorts, that's what you look for. Every day she does, she has to eat something. Of course, that's why she's called Foodie Beauty or Foodie Cutie.
that was pretty good. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a traditional Swiss fondue.
Yes, show
This
me.
fondue originated, it's a Swiss dish, and it goes back centuries, but it became popular in the United States. Um,
You know what? People always say corked wine is better than the screw off top. Why? Because you never see expensive wine with a screw off top. It's always corked. It's just a thing.
this is all for dipping, by the way. Um, in the 60s and 70s, people were having these fondue parties. So it became popularized in that era, and that's why we're having a fondue party today. But I'm not sharing any of it.
Yeah,
So I'm
no
going to
for
show you how to
Pete's.
make a traditional one. And the
Hold up. You mean like Pete's ain't getting any?
traditional one uses certain ingredients. So I'm going to show you now. Okay. So I
Thank you,
needed a heat
Lindsay.
resistant surface. So you're going to take
Hey there,
a couple
Martha.
cloves of 1 clove of garlic cut in half, and you're just going to rub the pot with the fresh garlic.
Hey, Nicole Lee.
I don't have pot brownies.
Of course, we see the mini pickles there, the sweet mini pickles. She has to have those.
That would have been a good, of course, for this. Probably more like acid brownies for this time period, honestly. But we'll get into some chat
Hey, oranges,
in
oranges.
a bit. So we're gonna rub the garlic, get that nice garlic juice on there. Okay.
Love
And
that.
now what we're gonna do is we're going to add, this is all measured out already, 3/4 of a cup of milk. I'm using 2%. That's what I had in my fridge.
Gotcha.
You can use whatever. All right. But the more fat the milk has, probably the more creamier it's going to be.
What is she on her knees? I think this is the dining room table area, unless she draped something.
Right. So now we're going to.
Yeah, that is her green screen. Actually, for a minute there, it kind of fooled me that it was real cloth, but no, she's in her dining room area, using her dining room table, with the green screen acting as this really mellow, chill blue and pink patterning.
Turn it on to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And you want to use a wooden utensil to stir in the cheese and just mix everything around because it will damage the pot otherwise. I'm going to have a little gherkin in the meantime. These were suggested for dipping. So the big gherkins I have, those wonderful gherkins I love, actually probably won't work as good for this, but you could use them, I guess. But okay.
All right, that's gherkin, not jerkin, because no one's getting any jerkin, just gherkin. Gherkin, Gherkin, which is a small variety of cucumber that has been pickled.
Now,
Not jerkin, gherkin. Unless you're jerkin wild
I
gherkin.
have 1 pound of Swiss cheeses, okay? It's getting hot already. So we're going to mix that in. This is shredded. You want to shred the cheese because it's easier to, it'll melt evenly.
True, nisi
And you
nisi.
want to mix with that 3 tablespoons of flour to keep it smooth, silky, and to kind of thicken the sauce. So that's why they add like cellulose, or you call it wood pulp, to shredded cheese to keep it from sticking. So we're going to add that in. So the cheeses I've used, the Swiss cheeses.
Man, Nisi, you're so right. Like she would put a lot of thought into her content back then. Cause look at it, the information she's imparting. Cause not a lot of people know about gherkin. Not a lot of people would know about wood pulp. But she's displaying her knowledge. Like whatever happened to this foodie beauty?
I've used Gouda, authentic Gouda, medium Gouda, Fontina, and Gruyere. And Gruyere is probably my favorite cheese, honestly. Swiss cheeses definitely been my favorite lately. So that's melting wonderfully. I wish I could show you. I'll show you when it's all done, but it's melting here. See? Just melt that in. And you want to do, I guess, a figure 8
Gotcha.
motion.
You want a tapestry
Now,
background, of
this
course.
pot came with the recipe for a traditional Swiss. So that's awesome. We're gonna melt the cheese in. Okay.
This fondue set has been lost in time. Look, it looks pretty nice. I'm not sure of the quality, but I like it. It was brand new. She got it for this. Has she used this ever or just once? I'm thinking it probably is a cleaning problem. Remember, this is September the 6th, 2020, and I've never seen this ever again. Thank you, SG. Appreciate you.
Oh, that smells nice, actually.
All right, so if you didn't know, there is wood pulp in cheese, like Kraft Heinz and other cheese makers that use that make shredded cheese. You have cellulose, which is the derivative of wood pulp or plant fiber. So what they do is that they put that with the cheese so that it stops the clumping of your shredded cheese. So if you ever wondered why your shredded cheese doesn't clump, it's because of wood pulp. That's why.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna melt that down. It's
Facts,
nice
Nisi
and thick.
Nisi.
This is gonna be good, guys. Gonna melt that down, doing the figure 8 motion.
Love it.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, R. Brownstein, what's up?
Now, a traditional Swiss fondue also has white wine, and you want Sauvignon Blanc. You want it to be room temperature. You're
Oh,
going to use 3/4 of a cup of that.
okay.
Ooh,
Now we're working.
jeepers creepers.
You know
I'm
what
just going to
else?
mix that in and let it cook a bit.
You know what else wood pulp is in? It's actually in ice cream as well, like your burgers, tacos, cheese, of course, and ice cream.
Have you guys ever had fondue? Now, you can also do, there's so many kinds
Hey, one small
of
moose.
different fondue, but the traditional Swiss one apparently is wine and cheese, because fondue in the ancient records in like the 1600s, there was a book found in Zurich that talked about fondue, and it's literally a cheese sauce with wine melted, and you're meant to dip pieces of bread in it. So we're gonna get that all melty. Ooh, yeah, that looks really nice. Just gonna let it simmer. So we're supposed to just let it simmer for a bit. So I'm just gonna let it simmer for a few minutes.
She's totally
and
making
tell
me
you what I
hungry.
have on the side here. So I'm gonna enjoy a glass of wine, and that's why I'm getting red, because when I drink, I get red. I have some fresh baked French bread. I have some bacon with
Nice.
some jalapenos on top,
Ooh.
and I have some roasted mini potatoes with carrots and some gherkins. Now you can dip anything. You can dip broccoli, would be nice with this. Brussels sprouts, little tomatoes, uh, different kinds of bread. Like, the possibilities
Are
are
endless.
seriously endless when it comes to fondue.
All right, my bad for making this. I wish I could help you at our Brownstein, but there's nothing I can do with that background. It's her green screen. She kind of melts into it. You like how I use that word melt when we're dealing with fondue?
Dip anything. There are chocolate fondues are also popular, but I prefer cheese over chocolate any day. But that's just me. Gonna let this simmer a little bit longer. So while this is cooking, 1969, I chose that year because it kind of, I mean, it almost defines the decade, really. You had the whole hippie counterculture movement. Some great music came out, like some great songs.
Uh-huh.
That song by the Zombies, "Time of the Season," it's the
It's
one that's like, "It's the
the
time
time of the
of the
season.
season when love runs high. In
Mm-mm-mm.
this time, give it to me easy, and let me try with pleasure hands." And my favorite song ever, classic Space Oddity by David Bowie. This is ground control to Major Tom. You really made the grade. And the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. And it's time to leave the capsule if you did.
Such hits for 1969.
Okay.
So,
I
Marie,
think
how
that's
you
done.
doing?
So we're going to put it on warm.
Yes, please do. All right, remember
Just
1969.
barely on warm.
Nixon took office January 20th, 1969, and he assumed responsibility for the Vietnam War. Also, the Vietnam War was winding down, starting in 69 to 73. If any of you lovely people remember that far back, some people do.
Okay.
But that was literally a 20-year war. The Vietnam War started in 55 and went to 75. A conflict in Vietnam or Laos and Cambodia for literally 20 years. Can you imagine that?
Smells great. We're going to add some pepper. Now you can add some nutmeg would be nice in this. Some paprika. A little bit of salt because cheese is very salty.
Also, it was the only war that America has ever lost because of mostly due to sentiment, right? People didn't want the war. It was a 20-year war. People didn't want to go over there. We were all about love and peace and happiness.
On its own, right? Okay.
Hey, gentle
So I'm gonna
ginger.
turn the heat off. All these cheeses, Swiss cheeses, feeling groovy. I'm feeling groovy. I don't know about you guys. All right, it's calming down.
Has anyone ever had ice wine here? If you haven't, you should try.
Let's try it. Get
AL says you cannot spell happiness without penis. You goddamn right.
right. Get right out. Get right out. I say shh and get right out. Oh my god, that flavor.
What was that
I
about?
love these videos because I get to try things that, dude, seriously. All right.
Right?
Want your fondue
Easy.
for
So
Foodie?
true.
Too bad. First things first, I want to try.
Did she have her gallbladder back then? No, she did not.
Try is this jalapeno with bacon. Okay. I don't know how you're supposed to put that on a fork, but let's try it. Let's try that like that. There we go.
Okay.
It's gonna be hot.
Just the way we like it, Foodie.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at this velvety cheese.
You don't miss the I said
Gonna drip on the table.
Yeah, Lynn, she was a teen when she got it out.
Beauty bite. Oh my god. Out of this world. Out. I'm gonna try a pickle. I can't imagine this tasting good. A sweet pickle. A sweet gherkin with cheese. Okay. This would be, I can see why they had fondue parties because this would be amazing for parties, right?
I bet.
Okay.
Hey, Nikki D.
So let's try.
Now I feel like having a fondue party. Would be nice.
I prefer the gherkins without the cheese. Let's try the bread. Soft. It might fall off. It's so soft and fresh.
Yeah, no.
Hit the. All right.
Not a lot of people have seen this.
It's gonna be hot.
All right. Another fun, well, actually, maybe this isn't that fun fact, but remember Muhammad Ali, aka Cassius Clay, in 1966? Ali refused to be drafted into the military. Now, I guess most people should know about Muhammad Ali and the draft, right? And he owed this to his religious beliefs and ethical opposition to the Vietnam War, which was still raging back in the 60s. Yes.
Too hot.
So she went from fonduing cheese with, I believe, what was it again? Sauvignon Blanc? To microwaving cheese and using Kraft dressing. I forgot what it was. Was it French dressing from Kraft that she was using? And melting that puppy with cheese and just licking it off the plate. Yeah, it was French dressing because it had that like orangey tint to it. She came from this to that in about
She
what,
made
2 years?
pieces.
Nice, Ingrid.
forgot my napkins over there, but I'm not going to get them. I'm too tipsy. Oh my god. The wine is something else in this sauce. So 1969. So this is, yeah, fondue parties were big. I showed you how to make the traditional Swiss fondue. 1969. So such a huge year. You had the
Mm-hmm.
Apollo 11 moon landing, Neil Armstrong landing, walking, first moonwalk ever. I know some people conspire that
What is fake?
the moon landing never happened.
Uh huh.
I think it did.
Okay.
Apollo 11, not Apollo 13, like the Tom Hanks movie. Nice
True,
potato,
Lindsay.
carrot. So, you guys want to see it?
Really, you gonna tilt
I
the
better not.
pot? I don't. Yeah, I was about to say that. Don't be tilting a fondue pot.
Um,
Back shots. Maybe code words would be nice. But you do you. You're a regular here. I trust ya. I respect ya. You're one of my regulars, so you do you. Is she
so you had
drinking?
that. You had
She has wine. Yeah, she does have a wine. If you look to your far right here, we have a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. Where did she get it from? LCBO? Probably. It's not boxed wine.
James Earl Ray getting sentenced to 99 years in prison for the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968. Sentence him to rot in jail where he belongs.
Mm-hmm.
This is amazing. Like, amazing. Mm.
For sure, back
I'm
shots.
not much of a dry wine drinker, but this is good. This is good. So you had something tragic happen. Also,
All right, if you don't know what the difference between a sweet and a dry wine is, dry wines have little to no residual sugar. So if you think of like the opposite of sweet wine, it retains some of its residual sugar from the grapes during fermentation, while a dry wine, it's little to none of the residual sugar from the fermentation process. So a lot of people are very peculiar about this. They're like, if you are I don't know, wine snob, can I even say that? I don't know. Hey Leonie, what's up? But if you're very particular about your wine, some people will drink white, some people won't. Some people will only do dry wines while other people only do sweet. Some people will only open up corked wines rather than a twist top. It's just how it is.
in 1969, in the summer of 69. Hey,
Any sommeliers
stop
in
turning
here?
on. Bacon is a bit tricky, especially if you like crispy bacon like I do. You guys like crispy bacon or fatty bacon? I like crispy bacon. Um, the Manson family murders happened.
Mm-hmm.
The murder, devastating murder of Sharon Tate. She was married to Roman Polanski at the time.
Yep. Remember, Manson family murders happened August 8th to the 9th, 1969.
He was away on business. A few other people were murdered as well. I think Abigail Folger Harris to the Folger's Coffee Company
Mm-hmm.
was murdered. Um, that just like shock the nation.
Yes, this was approximately 6.5 months before she started to regularly live stream. Remember the first, what people consider the start of the regular live streams, because she was live streaming for years, but what really started off was her birthday stream 2021, which is 2 years and a month ago, practically. Hey, Sapphire, what's up? When she went out with Frank, they had bubble tea. That started off, started the dating as well as the constant live streaming. The cork soakers, I don't remember that.
Such a terrible thing. So you had that happen. You had Woodstock. I mean,
Man, 69 was a year,
peace and love, right? You had
right?
the hippie movement,
Uh-huh.
Flower Child. You had this movement of people who were just protesting. You had the right smack in the middle of the Vietnam War.
Yup. Where did she meet Frank? Frank was a beezer, and he just wanted to take her out for her birthday. And why did they stop dating? I don't know. Maybe he smelled her. I have no idea why he stopped. But he seemed to be a very nice guy. He was not a bad looking gentleman as well. And he was a very good host and gentleman to her.
A war that claimed
Oranges, Poranges, it's the new thing with YouTube. They will do ads now in the middle of live streams. So it's actually not that weird.
so many lives.
Is there some significance to her reference in 69? I don't think so, but maybe it's because 1969 has 69 in it.
And lasted a long time. I think it started in the 50s and lasted till the mid 70s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it started
Um,
55, ended 75. The Vietnam War, that is.
Carb haters will not want to watch this. Well, nobody hates carbs.
Yeah, they do.
People who get triggered to eat them when they see them.
She got all her info from Google. Yeah, but Charlie's mom,
But she's just like velvety, rich.
she would try though. That's the whole thing is that compared to now, it's like she's trying, especially what we witnessed today with the whole Kate Yup thing, not even saying a word. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this? At least she was trying now.
The cheese is like velvety, rich, a bit tangy. And then you have the wine, the hint of wine that makes it look a bit acidy.
Was her mom born in 69? That kind of makes sense. Because her mom was a pregnant teen, 69 to 84 gives you 15 years. Totally makes a lot of sense.
Acidic? Acidy. I'm just gonna like dip my bacon, dude. I'm breaking the friggin' fondue rules. And since you guys are behind the screen, I can double dip all I want.
True shrink wrap.
So, you know, they were hippies were peacefully protesting. They were protesting peaceful. So hippies were protesting the war.
What were you doing in 69, Charlie's mom?
A lot of other social unrest going on. They were counterculture, anti-establishment. Free sexually, like free your sexuality. That's why there were so many boobs at Woodstock.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, Woodstock. I was gonna make most were vegetarian apparently, hippies. But Woodstock was like an atrocity environmental wise. There was so much pollution and filth. Kind of like counteracts that whole environmentalist like hippie culture kind of thing, you know. But people were buying like acid for $1. Now that might have been CIA agents selling it because there was the whole MK Ultra operation going on.
I knew she was gonna go wild. I knew she was. It's like, yes, CIA agents were selling acid for $1 because of MK Ultra. Okay, all right.
Like the covert CIA
Calm
operation where
down.
they were giving people acid like without them knowing so they could test some kind of like the psychological effect for like warfare and like psychological warfare probably or something like that.
Yes, she got it pretty right. I
That's
don't
pretty
know
messed up. I mean, really, right? Come on. But
who here believes in MK Ultra.
anyway, um, I never did that. I have no interest in doing that kind of thing. It was a psychedelic era. You had psychedelic music, like the music in my intro. Um, the Doors, very psychedelic rock,
Hmm.
and a lot of artists would drop acid or take hallucinogenic drugs in order to. They said it opened their mind to let more creativity flow.
Yeah.
But like, you don't want to mess with that stuff. Shrooms is one thing, but
Is the bread big enough? Yes. Ami says MK Ultra was a thing. Should we do a vote? Do you believe in MK Ultra as like a real legitimate thing that happened, or do you think it was all BS? I want to know what your thoughts are, people. So let me do a poll while we continue this. Was MK Ultra by the CIA a real thing?
but
Should I do it like that, or should I say MK Ultra is a real thing? Because some people might not think the CIA was part of it, but usually MK Ultra and the CIA go in tandem these days, right? I should put also. I have no idea. Okay, vote now.
yeah, so it was like a really memorable year, especially with everything that I just talked about.
All right. So if you don't know what MK Ultra is, let me give you a synopsis. So MK Ultra spawned from two drug-related experiments: Project Bluebird and Project Artichoke. So MK Ultra spawned from Bluebird and Artichoke, but MK Ultra itself was an illegal human experimentation program designed and undertaken by, of course, the Central Intelligence Agency, aka the CIA, intended to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used in interrogations to weaken individuals and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. So pretty much, it was a way to use to get information out of people through illegal ways. So vote now. Tell me, do you believe in MK Ultra? Yes or no?
Going on, I think those were the main memorable things that happened that year. A lot happened in that year.
Verica says MK Ultra is absolutely, what's that, a million percent a real thing, but I just came in late. I don't know if you're referring to Chantel or what. I don't know. You came in right on time.
Feel free to mention anything else you think of that I may have missed. Hmm. So fondue parties.
Let me see,
Wasn't there
Verica.
also like key parties that were popular? You ever hear of a key party in like the 60s? Look it up. Hey, My light is like flashing.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, technological issues can be a big problem for YouTubers.
Yeah, isn't a key party when you all put like your keys in a bowl or something, and then somebody goes up and chooses a key, and whoever key you chooses is the person you experiment with? That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Texas Toast. It
Mm,
was for swinging, sexual experimentation, particularly
this is
swinging.
amazing. Let me tell you right now. Come back here, jalapeno. It's missing. It just wanted to get covered in more cheese.
All
I
right,
hate this
vote
shirt.
now. She hates that shirt, but it looks very comfortable and groovy. I
Should have
like
got a
it.
different shirt.
No, that shirt is perfect on her. I mean, it's not super tight. Like, what's wrong with her and that shirt? I like that shirt. Where'd she get that shirt from?
I don't know, man. I don't know. So,
All right, vote now. Do you think MK Ultra is real, or maybe you have no idea?
man, Woodstock, two people died. But part of me would have wanted to go because um,
What did she melt? She melted shredded cheese with wine into the spot. And yeah, that's fondue. You cheese. It's a Swiss thing, of course. And yeah, you just melt wine with cheese and you serve it in a communal pot or bowl. And that is a fondue party.
look at the lineup: Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, uh, Grateful Dead. So many icons. That would have been an awesome concert. You know, you get to see those icons before they join the 27 Club. Would be amazing. Oh.
All right, so Ami Ami was saying it was real Project MK Ultra. Remember, spawned from Bluebird and Artichoke. And Ami Ami says, I took care of a lot of those men and women who lost their minds. Also saying 29-year-old RN in the U.S. Army. Really? So it was a real thing. Faith Lane, what's going on? How you doing? What's up? All right, let me end this vote. I think most of us are saying it was a real thing. Oh, it's going down a bit. Before we were at 2/3. Now we are at 3/5. All right, let me end it. 3/5 of us, 3 out of every 5 of us think that MK Ultra was real. 1 out of every 4 of us think that we have no idea if it was real or not, and 13% say it was not real. Okay, pause and pose. She did, gal. Incredible, isn't it? Coherent, discussing topics. Can talk about Manson from 69, the moon landing from 69. Who else? Nixon getting into office January the 20th, 1969. The winding down of the Vietnam War, which was a 20-year war, almost 20 year, but we're just going to say 20-year. From 55 to 75 was the Vietnam War, the only war that the US of A ever lost due to mostly a lot of sentiment, the drafting that was going on. Remember, even Cassius Clay, aka Muhammad Ali, decided that he did not want to get drafted into the military based on his religious beliefs and ethical position opposition, I should say, ethical opposition to the Vietnam War. And Foodie Beauty was good with all this knowledge. I mean, I would be watching these time warps. They're fun. I like them.
Would have been totally
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes. Thank you for your service, Ami Ami. Appreciate it. Yeah, not a lot of people appreciate our enlisted individuals, our officers or soldiers, our veterans, but I do. I respect and appreciate each and every veteran that have died, been injured in creating the freedom that I have in North America.
Let this cool off. Burnt my lip earlier. Jeepers. I can smell the garlic now. That was a good idea.
Is Foodie from Montreal area? She is not from Montreal area. She is in Ontario, an hour away, hour west of Montreal is where she's from in Cornwall.
There's so much cheese sauce in there. Oh my god. So good. Ooh. If you love cheese, you gotta try this.
I
You
will.
won't be disappointed. You have to like Swiss cheese too.
Was Foodie's mom a
But
swinger?
some people don't.
I don't think so, Vicky. I think remember, Foodie's mom liked her dad because her dad could fight, and she was a teenage mom. Got pregnant, had a child, had to take care of that child.
Okay.
You're welcome, mommy. Anytime.
It's off.
Mary, I was thinking the same thing. That fondue pot got tilted, and she drank the cheese. Literally, probably drank the cheese when it was lukewarm, just gulging it. Can you imagine?
That was good. Okay, guys. I'm pretty full, actually. That's filling the bread and the cheese and everything. It's very rich. So, I really thank you for hanging out with me and coming back in time with me in this video. It was really fun. And, excuse me.
Wow, okay.
And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
And that is it for Foodie Beauty. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna do the last time warp that she did. This one was in March 24th, 2021. I remember this specific day, and once again I had to actually go to Montreal, so that's how I remember this day. And a lot of people weren't liking this throwback. But hey, we're gonna take a look at it right now. We're gonna see what knowledge she has. We just did a time warp to 69. Now we are doing this one. What is this called again? This was the one with Twin Peaks themed dinner and iconic cherry pie. Okay, so if you like Twin Peaks, here we go.
Some of your friends are rude. Hello, Ashton Spoofer.
Hi, I'm Laura Palmer's doppelganger.
No, you ain't. She look like this. You look like that. She look like this. You look like that. She look like this. You look like that. Okay.
Hi, I'm Laura Palmer's doppelganger. I'm so glad you came to visit. I'm so hungry. I'm so tired of eating nothing but garmonbosia. Say, you know what? Oh, I would give anything for some fine Black Lodge dining. And for dessert, oh, sure could go for some famous cherry pie from the RR Diner. Agent Cooper's always raving about that cherry
Right, Lindsay?
pie. Well, why don't you go do a girl a favor and cook me something up, something nice, something elegant, something rich, something yummy.
Oh, I like this.
All
This
right,
is
we are
like
going.
Sexy Foodie was coming out in 21. Wait a second. Wait a second. This was literally, when was the date again on this? The 24th. This was literally days before her birthday, days before she got into that sexual feeling.
Going to
Yeah.
make a blue cheese stuffed beef. Tenderloin works best for this recipe, but I could not find any filet mignon, so I'm using an inside round cut of meat, and I cut it into 3 thick steaks. Now you want to make a slit in the meat and stuff it with blue cheese,
Ooh.
and then close the slit again.
Yummy.
So now we're going to marinate the steaks to make them more tender and flavorful for at least 2 hours in the fridge. The marinade consists of the leaves of 4 fresh thyme sprigs, 2 minced garlic cloves, 6 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. I'm trying to remember everything. 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard.
Wow.
While those are marinating, we're going to mix our dry ingredients for a pie crust. So 3/4 cup of icing sugar, 3 cups of white flour, half a cup of crushed almond, and just a pinch of salt. Now you're going to want to work in a stick and a quarter of unsalted butter, and you're going to work it with your fingertips until it resembles fine breadcrumbs. Then you're going to whisk 1 large egg, 3 tablespoons of water.
What kind of steak? Typically you would have a flank steak, right? Like it would be cheesy stuffed flank steak. You could prepare it Italian style. Other ways to really prepare it, but typically flank steak, you stuff the cheese inside. You can even like wrap cheese inside party steak and then wrap cheese inside and kind of like roll it. I've seen it done that way as well.
And half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Add the wet to the dry and then mix with a fork and then with your hands to form dough balls.
Okay.
You want to form 2 same size balls of dough, and they're going to look like this. They're going to be pretty firm. Roll out
Cool.
2 discs of the dough and place it in cling wrap and place in the fridge for 1 hour. Add 3/4 cup of white sugar and half a cup of cherry jam until the sugar is melted, and then bring to a boil for just a minute.
Right? I really like when she did this. This is literally days before she quit. She gave up on doing these types of videos where the music actually matched the visual content, and when she would explain things and do things that were amazing rather than eating out all the time.
You want to add a cornstarch slurry of 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch to 3 tablespoons of water, and then cook that, bring that to a boil, and then add the cherries. So in the oven on 400 degrees, I cooked 10 strips of bacon for the bacon mashed potatoes we're going to be making, as well as cut up 6 spring onions or green onions
Hey,
to
Irma.
go in the mashed potatoes as well. You want to chop the bacon with the green onions.
All right.
Now, this asparagus recipe sounded interesting to me. It's asparagus cooked in butter, salt, and pepper,
Ooh,
and we're toasting
nice.
some crushed pecans and some panko breadcrumbs, about half a cup each. And I'm just going to let that toast and spread it over the asparagus. And then we're going to add some lemon zest when it's cooked.
Nice. Yeah,
So
Eileen.
for the mashed potatoes, we're going to melt down 3 tablespoons of butter and the spring onions. And then we're going to add half a cup of milk and some salt and pepper and let that cook for just a minute or two. Oh wow, these look so yummy. So I've added the bacon after I've mashed the potatoes in the onions, butter, and milk.
That actually doesn't look bad.
And added a bit more salt and a little bit more pepper. And these look delicious. Alright, so the dough is out of the fridge and I've worked it into my pie plate. I think my plate is just a little bit too big for the measurements that are suggested in the recipe, but I'm just pressing it down and working with what I got. So I made strips with the other pastry disc that was in the fridge,
No.
added some egg wash and sprinkled just a little bit of white sugar on it, and it's ready to go in a 375-degree oven for...
Who the hell is this? Who is this making pie? Making no, who is this? She's been replaced.
for close to an hour.
Can you imagine?
And the pie is browned and bubbly and out of the oven, and it looks delicious and
Okay, it's a little bit burnt at the corners, but still, who the hell is this? Yeah, it actually looks good. It's not the best, but at least she tried it, and hey, it might still taste really good.
smells even more amazing than it looks. So this is supposed to be the Twin Peaks iconic very fine cherry pie. So I let the meat out of the fridge for a little while to get it down in temperature, so that way it's more tender, and I seared both sides. I put it in the oven, and now I'm adding the reserved marinating liquid to it and just letting it simmer in that for a bit, and it's going to be ready to plate up soon. And there we have it, the finished product. I tried to look all fancy.
I did see that, Foodie. Your presentation was almost, but you kind of had the gravy run there, then you wiped it, I can tell. And that stringy stuff on the right hand side, no. I'm sorry, no. But the presentation, I guess it's okay.
And plate my meal like this with asparagus on top and some of the juice. So, bon appetit, let's go eat.
Hey guys, hey, how are you? Welcome back to another themed video. I guess you could call this a time warp because the show we're going to be talking about is from 1990. So I guess it would be the early 90s, So, but it is more of a themed type of video like I did with Pulp Fiction. And I'm so excited. It is my birthday week, and to celebrate, in part celebration, I wanted to do, even though it was a lot of work making this pie from scratch, making everything from scratch, and just everything, just setting up, whatever, it was still fun regardless, because I just love Twin Peaks so much. I just want to eat, live, breathe Twin Peaks. So if you haven't watched Twin Peaks is a series that aired in 1990 by David Lynch, famous director. And he's known for being eccentric and strange and weird, as normal people call it. And also Mark Frost. Can't forget Mark Frost. Had a lot to do in that as well. But it is very, very weird, sometimes disturbing, sometimes campy, sometimes funny. It's more of a psychological kind of drama series. And it's like a psychological horror drama series is all I can say. And it's got a bit of campiness in there. So yeah, and I decided, I did actually find this wonderful book, which my recipes came from today. This is a damn fine cherry pie, which is what Agent Cooper says when he tries the RR Diner's cherry pie for the first time.
Can I get you anything to go with this, Sheriff?
Agent Cooper here might want to try a slice of that pie. A cherry pie?
Best in the Tri-Counties.
Nice.
Shelley Johnson makes one heck of a mean cherry pie, and so does Norma. So I want to go through a bit of this book with you guys just to talk a bit about the series. If you are not familiar with Twin Peaks, you may find a lot of the intro very strange, and you may not know what I'm talking about. So the character I'm dressed up as right now is Laura Palmer. More specifically, her doppelganger who resides in the Black Lodge. I'll get into what the Black Lodge symbolizes in just a moment. But
So true, Nisi Nisi. For those who actually entered in 2021 when it was getting real nasty and bad, especially late spring and during the summertime 2021, it was really bad. But that what was happening into summertime the next year, 2022, then things started to really break apart. But before that, Foodie Beauty was doing so much better.
I took some recipes from there. She has different. The author has different themes in here to go with the characters, the places where Twin Peaks was set. There's some of it set right in the border of Canada, Washington. Washington State is where it's a fictional town of Twin Peaks is where it's set. So yes. All right. So this is the cherry pie. Turned out, I showed you that. We'll get to eat that in a bit. It's still warm, but not too hot. I didn't exactly nail it. I tried.
Oh, wow. Nisi Nisi, you've been watching her since 2016?
And this dinner, I was disappointed when I couldn't get any tenderloin or filet mignon. I had my groceries delivered.
Hey, Sasha.
And they were out of tenderloin. I asked the guy to ask the butcher. So I had to go with a roast. I cut up the roast you saw. I think it was inside round. So the mashed potatoes, this is the juice, the glazing juice, the marinating juice on top of the beef. I'm really anxious to see what the blue cheese tastes like inside. I could smell it when it was cooking. So yeah, let's try this here. Laura's very hungry. And basically, I'm just going to dig in. I really wish it was filet mignon, but yeah. So this meal is in the Black Lodge section. In Twin Peaks, there's the White Lodge, the Black Lodge, and of course, just normal life, like the present, apparent, I guess. So look at these mashed potatoes here. The bacon, the spring onion. I'm going to see how they taste. Everything smelled so good when I was cooking it. You know, you go through all that hard work and it's going to be a treat to eat. Beauty bite. Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
You have got to try your mashed potatoes this way. Oh, you have to. So good. I like eating asparagus with my fingers.
Don't get it confused with the 2017 Twin Peaks because that picks up 25 years after. The original Twin Peaks is from the 90s, 1990 to 1991, specifically. Fictional town, Deerfield, Washington.
Eat your veggies. Oh, wow. The nice crunch from the toasted pecans and...
Yeah, the makeup videos wasn't too bad. Is she sped up? No, she's not.
Pecan or pecan?
Take care, Irma.
I said pecan.
Have a good one.
Oh my gosh, the lemon zest too.
Hey, GL.
A little bit of zest goes a long way. Let's try this. Now that it's all fancy, we can make a mess out of it. Now that you've seen it fancy, I should say.
Yeah, right. Exactly, Verica. So true. Like in a lot of restaurants, less is more, right? So they typically give you a lot less than what's on your plate, and it looks more appetizing. The presentation will be a lot better because they take their time and whatnot, and they're really used to it. You get better in time if you actually put any effort into anything and everything. But yeah, it truly does not look that bad.
So Black Lodge is... David Lynch apparently believed in...
Yes, that's a fake background. That's your green screen. You can see it. The green screen not taking such good effects of the outline where the hair is. Usually that's how you can tell. Look at people's hair. But some people's green screen is really good.
I saw an explanation.
Hey,
and there are so many explanations to interpretation of his work. And there's so much symbolism layered upon symbolism, and it's just, you'll know what I'm talking about if you know David Lynch. And he also directed Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, Blue Velvet, Fire Walk with Me, which is a Twin Peaks prequel and sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he there's a lot of motifs of an alternate plane of existence. and there's our present, past, present, future, and different dimensions and different states of consciousness therein. So the Black Lodge, I guess, is meant to represent, this is an explanation, I've heard of it, the first layer of the intellect, basically, which has many layers. And the White Lodge would be further up, would be kind of like, think of it as kind of reaching some kind of nirvana, I guess, is what I can explain it as. But the first level is very susceptible to darkness. So you have the waiting room, the iconic waiting room in the Black Lodge. And let's cut into this here.
Yes,
now, this is not going to be as tender. I want to get some of the blue cheese.
Foodie's got to eat.
As, of course, tenderloin. But let's see. Still not bad. The blue cheese just kind of all melted in it. Let's try it.
Still looks good. What the heck is this wig?
Wow.
You don't like the wig? It's her, what was it? Laura Palmer from Twin Peaks? It's Laura something. Let me make sure I am getting this right. From Twin Peaks, it's Laura something. I just can't remember now. Let me look it up.
Kind of cocktail. I do have a lot of cocktail recipes in there. I did overcook it somewhat, but the blue cheese is so good with the beef. It kind of melts into the meat and kind of just gives it a tangy, like sharp, tangy flavor. So the waiting room in the Black Lodge is very symbolic. You have the chevron floor, which is meant to symbolize duality. You have the Black Lodge is where the characters' doppelgangers in the show reside. And it's got the chevron floor, black and white, again, symbolizing duality. It's very a darker place, meant to represent the darker side of us. And actually, the book really does say it well. So yeah, the White Lodge symbolizes a sense of safety, purity, and family life. So that's the White Lodge. And then the Black Lodge dinner chapter here in the book is full of richer, darker, moodier recipes to set the scene. And since I'm dressed up as Laura Palmer, she's normally dressed up as, when she was alive, she was dressed up as a schoolgirl, the plaid skirt and sweaters and things like that. And now this is how she looks in the Dark Lodge. So that was my...
Where is the story going? I don't know. Some people like Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is very it's either you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it, because I believe it was David Lynch. Yes, it was David Lynch, and David Lynch's work has a lot of surrealism, offbeat humor, and distinctive cinematography. So with that type of person doing this series, you're either gonna hate it or you're gonna like it. It's kind of one of those things. What other person does that? Quentin Tarantino, I guess, would kind of be divisive as well. But I really love Quentin Tarantino stuff.
My choice. This book does have a lot of
That I forgot if she ate the old pie, but I'm sure she's gonna have some.
Different themed. They have a White Lodge dining section, Black Lodge. They have a jukebox list. They have a diner section for food, which I was eyeing.
Cool, Verica. So you really like Twin Peaks.
It's a really good book. It has a lot of facts about Twin Peaks.
Yeah, the filters weren't that prominent now, but when she started to do a lot of live streaming, she started to up the ante with the filters.
The chevron floor of the Black Lodge in Twin Peaks also appears in Eraserhead. I didn't know that. Eraserhead is I think it was his first movie. I could be wrong, but it's one of his earlier ones. I think it was his first one.
True, Sasha. The blonde Didi wasn't
Mhm.
easy. It was no Mary. It was weird her doing that with like the pixie cut wig and the red kimono, like literally copying Didi. I'm like, Feely Foodie. You don't think that's kind of weird?
It was his first feature film. So the show Twin Peaks ran for 2 seasons, and then it was canceled. And then a third season, 25 years later, came out in 2017, which a lot of people say they didn't like as much.
She forgot to mention that in between seasons 1 and 2, there was Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which was the movie. So she forgot that.
It was still odd enough for me to love. Still had that David Lynch flair. To synopsize, I don't want to give any spoilers.
All right, thank you for the explanation, Verica. Appreciate you.
However, body of Laura Palmer washes up on shore one day. And Agent Cooper works for the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
He's sent into Twin Peaks to investigate. There's also the murder of, for a possible serial killing, because there's also some other girls that were murdered. Another girl that was murdered, at least. They find a letter under each of the victims' fingernails. So there seems to be a pattern.
Mm-hmm. Where'd she go?
By the way, I apologize for it might look a little tilted, my camera. I can't seem to get it just right, but you know what? Pete's pointed out to me when I was having him help me fix the angle. He said, it's David Lynch content you're covering. You know, it doesn't need to. Actually, having it sideways would probably work in your favor in this case.
You know what I'll do, Verica? I'll probably take a look at it because I really like when people's work are very eccentric. I like that sort of stuff. Once again, like Quentin Tarantino stuff, I really like because I never know what's gonna happen because his mind is so eccentric but so brilliant at the same time. But yeah, I definitely will, Verica. You can tell Chantal failed to book reports. Yeah, she's never concise, is she? She's like all over the place. I'm like, Foodie, you could literally just read from the internet and tell us what it is about. And she literally was doing that, but she still was confusing. It's like, how can you be confusing when you're literally reading a summary of what happens in the series?
Still pretty tender. And he's right.
You think blonde suits her more?
So this is Lindsay Bowden of Damn Fine Cherry Pie. Unauthorized cookbook inspired by the TV show Twin Peaks. She's also just a really huge fan of Twin Peaks and got inspired to come up with some different recipes, and she did a very good job.
Okay, nice. Nice. Uh-oh, Foodie.
Let me know if you're going to try Twin Peaks or if you've watched Twin Peaks. Who's your favorite character?
Is that me kind of dry? It looks kind of hard. So you loved Twin Peaks when Foodie Beauty did this video. I can't believe
It's got some
over
really dark subject matter.
2 years.
Sexual abuse. That nature of content. So if you're sensitive to that, it'll probably be very disturbing for you. Just for
So
anybody, really. It's kind of a disturbing story, but it's very good.
all right, so when this came out, I do remember 2 years and a month ago, a lot of people did not like this whole Twin Peaks time warp. Why? Because it seems Foodie Beauty's focus is on a more mukbang aspect of her time warps where she tries to finish the food and eat, rather than with the time warp. I feel like the focus should be the story itself and presenting it in a way that is amazing, engaging to her audience. But she's so used to the mukbangs and eating that she's putting more focus on the food rather than on the story. And a lot of people didn't like that. Hey there, Gail. Welcome.
I'm never going to eat mashed potatoes any other way now. And that asparagus with the pecans or pecans, just so good. So I've watched the series twice, the first 2 seasons. I love Lucy, the secretary of the sheriff's station.
I see, Marie. Thanks for telling us.
But I think Agent Cooper is my favorite because he's so handsome. Kyle MacLachlan, oh, love that man.
How old is Kyle MacLachlan? 64. Okay. So he was pretty young when he was in Twin Peaks.
Absolutely. He's so handsome. You know? Very good. Very good meal.
She did not look at the camera. It really depends, Mouse Toes, but it seems her concern here is the food.
The bacon and onion. Bacon and onion just add so much flavor, you know?
Yeah, that steak is tough. I even noticed that. I'm like, holy crap, she is really...
I do, however, want to save some room for this intimidating pie. It's very intimidating. It's huge.
You don't gotta eat it all, Foodie.
But whenever I always wanted to know. You know, Agent Cooper just really, really rants and raves about this this pie. Or more
Have a safe trip, Texas Toast, wherever you're going.
raves, I guess. Doesn't really rant about it, but
Be safe.
there's 2 versions in here. So as you can see, I didn't really nail the design.
Not really.
This is the one I followed, which is the Shelley Johnson cherry pie. Shelley Johnson is a character in the show, and she works at our diner.
Hey, Linda Lou,
And
welcome.
Norma Jennings owns the diner, and there's a vegan cherry pie version as well. All right. Let's dig in. Intimidating knife for an intimidating pie.
Stop. How do you think this is going to come out? Is it going to come out as a whole, or is it going to come out crumbled? You tell me.
I hope I'm the pie crust. I don't know. I'm not good with pie crust. But then again, I don't know if I've ever made a pie from scratch with like traditional crust.
All right, it's going to come out.
This is gonna fall apart, kind of.
Yeah, it's going to come out a mess.
Oh. And the cherry bubbling, it kind of looks like blood, honestly. So it's like cherry pie, very fitting.
Well, they asked, I wonder if the event that pushed her into the obsessive hooking up was BB finding a serious partner. Maybe. Could be that. But she was hooking up with guys back in the day, during the teens.
or like a darker themed kind of video, you know. So let's dole out this piece in honor of Twin Peaks' Shelley Johnson's cherry. Ooh,
Let's get two. Let's get two.
cherry pie. Oh boy, here we go.
All right, didn't actually come out that
Oh
bad.
wow,
Yeah, that was actually not
these big cherries.
that bad.
Oh, well, it's cooked. That's for sure. As you can see there, looks pretty good, huh? Looks good to me. I'm gonna try a piece without whipped cream, and then I was gonna put some whipped cream on it, but the crust is kind of thick here. Let's try.
You love the pie
Very
plate.
hot.
You wonder what happened to it. It's in the garbage. As you said, probably in the trash. Out of breath from cutting pie. It's better than out of breath from cutting wind, peach cobbler.
That is a good crust. Buttery. That is one fine cherry pie. So cherry-y. You know what I mean?
So true. So once again,
Doesn't need whipped cream.
this is supposed to be a time warp, but the focus is on the food rather than the story. I think the opposite should be maybe at least 60% on the story, 40% on the food, maybe even 75% on the story, 25% on the food. Really?
Anytime.
Natter's got that blue pie dish was her grandmother's. Wow. So you've seen it at Dee Dee's place then?
I've had cherry pie, it's been the canned pie filling.
Sure, Nisi.
So delicious. Wow. The crunchy crust. Well, Shelly, no wonder Norma keeps you around.
Right, Lynn? It's like, that is disrespectful to the T.
Delicious. Yeah, the crust is the almond. The crushed almond adds like an extra crunchy factor, flavor factor too.
So I wonder what happened. So we have the what do you call it? Like a throw or a blanket from her grandma, the doll from her grandma, this plate from her grandma, ashes. Whatever happened to all these things? Remember when she got the doll? And I'm like, why would you give Foodie Beauty of all people a doll that used to belong to her grandmother that's in impeccable condition? I think Foodie Beauty is going to do anything with it. Yes, it was the quilt, right? I remember the last place we saw that. Like, she just didn't care. Like, I would never treat a quilt or blanket that's from my grandmother or anything from my grandparents like that. There's no way. Yeah, probably was left at the old place or something like that, because it's not about even like the value of the item is sentimental. It might not look like it costs a lot. People might not care just looking at it, but it's the sentimental value of, these items that's what the worth is.
Those are some good cherries.
Exactly, Lindsay.
It was funny too because apparently they were out of frozen cherries at the grocery store. And I just so happened to have a bag in my freezer. Wasting away. put to rather good use, I would say.
Yeah, rest in peace to the Grams.
Oh man, that was a filling meal though. Whew. Check, please.
Children.
Yeah, if you're a Twin Peaks fan, I would suggest getting this book as a breakfast. You know, the whole diner motif, it's, you know, ingrained in American culture. Nothing like a old-fashioned diner. Puts in with red-eye gravy, homemade lemonade, homemade cherry cola, Bobby burgers, different donuts, because there's a lot of donuts in the Twin Peaks series. There's a lot of cops, so there's a lot of donuts. The recipe I was trying to follow was the filet mignon stuffed with blue cheese. Followed everything to the recipe except for the cut of meat. Of course, the tenderloin would be more tender. You can just sear that for a couple minutes on either side and have perfect medium rare chunk of meat that's still, it's very, very tender, you know, but they didn't have any. It's also expensive. The Giant's Special Goose. There's a giant in the show. Bloody Mary topping. So there's just different, you know, different recipes here that are themed with the.
All right, we get it, Foodie. We get it. It's a good book.
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks themed stuff. Got it. Hey, Timberly, what's up?
There's Twin Peaks characters, place.
I'm just wrapping up. Are you going to do another live, Timberly, or are you done for the night? Hopefully she left her grandma's urn with her mom. I am hoping that, Florida, because that would be the ultimate slap in the face. I'm hoping that the doll is back with her mom. I'm hoping, but she can surprise me. Anything's possible with Foodie Beauty.
Pieces, motifs, things like that. So.
Oh, I see, Timberly. Okay.
Very delicious. Oh yeah, the cherry pie is very good. I was afraid it would be undercooked. Not at all. So I ran out of white flour. I had to sub about half a cup of whole wheat flour, which isn't too much.
I hope so, Lynn.
How rude of me. I've done worse on my channel. All right. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this time warp video. Again, you should definitely check out David Lynch if you're not familiar. Thank me later. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
All right. That is it for her last time warp that she ever did. And okay, cool. Good stuff. Anyways, I guess I'm out of here. It's been almost an hour and a half. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me because I did a stream this morning, then afternoon, then right now. And I will be back another time. She just rips the wig off. Of course, she was just done. Done and over with. Anyways, thank you so much, people. My regulars, my Fire Squad members, my mods, thank you so much. Really appreciate each and every one of you. I'm gonna list the contest for a wristlet tonight. I gotta do that. I'll do that right now. I got a lot of things planned, so watch out for that. Other than that, thank you so much. Floydea says she was trying to establish residency at Natter's Trap by moving her stuff there, and it ended so badly. That is true. Like, all her stuff was there, and then Dee Dee started using her stuff, and then she started using and throwing out Dee Dee's stuff. Then it was a whole entire shit show. That was the end of 2021 in November and December. Floydea, positive vibes again to you and your kitty cat. Have a good trip. Who was it that's leaving again? Going to the airport? Well, have a safe trip. If you're going anywhere, be safe. I know it's a Tuesday. And take care of yourselves. I'll see all you lovely people tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye bye.